My beloved child, stop scrolling. Silence the noise around you. What you are about to hear is not just a random message. It is the specific answer to the deep ache you have been carrying in your chest. You have questioned my timing. You have wrestled in the shadows of the night asking, did I miss it? Did I wait too long? Has God changed his mind about me? I have heard every single one of those cries, and now I am responding. This is not just encouragement. This is a divine confrontation with your fear. This word is sacred ground. You are standing at the threshold of a clarity that will shift everything inside of you, and if you turn away now, you will walk right back into the confusion I was just about to dismantle. If you stop listening, you may silence the very answer your spirit has been begging for in secret. Listen to me closely. My plan for your life was never delayed, not even once. This very moment is proof that I have been leading you all along, so do not click away and do not treat this lightly. I am inviting you into revelation, into healing, and into realignment. You must earth this from beginning to end, not just for information, but for transformation. Not just to feel better for a moment, but to walk in a truth that makes you unshakable. If this is meeting your right now, pause for a second. Save or bookmark this message so you can return to it. Don't let this be passing feeling. Come back to it, receive it. You are not behind, you are becoming. The words I speak in this message will burn away the lies, awaken your dormant faith, and bring divine clarity where confusion has lingered far too long. Stay with me. Don't miss what heaven timed perfectly to reach you right now, because when this message ends, you will not be the same. If you walk away too soon, it will break my heart, not because I will lose you, but because you will miss what I set aside just for you. Listen, my child, this is the moment everything begins to make sense. Draw near and let your soul rest in this truth. I knew you before the first sunrise, before light pierced the void, and stars were flung across the heavens. Is all you, is all the shape of your heart. It raced the lines of your life with my own hand. You are not the result of chance or chaos. You are the manifestation of my intentional love. It formed you in your mother's womb with precision and passion. Every cell, every heartbeat, every breath you take was designed by me with meaning. Our note a random spark in the dark, you were ignited by my eternal purpose. I breathed my breath into you. My fingerprints are upon your soul. Before the foundations of the earth were laid, I declared your existence. I did not just permit you. I wanted you as all your life from beginning to end and loved every part of it. Not only your strength, but your stumbles. Not only your victories, but your valleys. I wrote your story in the ink of eternity, not in the fragile pages of passing time. Time bends to, it bows at my command. I do not race against clocks. I write of earthem. I not delay. I orchestrate. What feels slow to you is sacred to me. You are not an afterthought. You are not a mistake. You are not behind. You are becoming. Every detail of your life was woven with divine intention. Nothing overlooked, nothing unnecessary. Event the parts you would erase, I use. Event the chapters you want to skip, I redeem. You look at moments and ask why, but I look at the whole tapestry and see the glory. My beloved, do you understand that I am the author and the finisher? I didn't just start your story. I will complete it with glory. I do not abandon the work of my hands. I do not forget what I have begun. What is start is sustain. What I initiate is fulfill. Trust truth. I have not lost control of your life. I have not changed my mind about you. My plan was never delayed. It was eternal. You see shadows and wonder if I have turned away. But I dwell in both the light and the mystery. I am as present in the unknown as I am in the miracle. When you feel forgotten, I am writing the next page. When you feel overlooked, I am preparing the next chapter. Rest in me. I do not write in pencil. You are deeply cherished, soulless to now. Let my words become your anchor. Let my presence wrap around your weariness. You are not a wandering soul. I have marked your path with purpose. You walk a trail lit by a fire. Do not measure yourself by earthly calendars. Do not compare your pace with those around you. My timing is not your timing, but my timing is perfect. You are held in the hands of the timeless sun. You are guided by the voice that spoke galaxies into motion. You are remembered, written, and rooted in my will. Every breath you take is a continuation of a promise I made before time began. Now rise, my child, lift your head. You have not missed it. You are not late. You are precisely where I need you to be. Step into this moment, wrapped in the fullness of my plan, and walk boldly, because my hand has never left you and it never right now. Speak this aloud or type it where you can see it. I am not behind, I am becoming. Say it, believe it, attachures your spirit. You feel the age of time passing. You hear the ticking clock as if it's counting down what you have lost. You wonder if the silence means I have forgotten, but listen closely. What you call delay, I call divine craftsmanship. What you label as waiting, I have marked as preparation. I am not absent in the pause. I am notedly in the silence. I am working in ways you cannot yet see. You cry out for breakthrough, and I see your tears. You plead for doors to open, and I heard the pounding of your faith. But I do not respond like man. I do not move based on panic. I move based on promise. I am building something deeper in you than a quick solution could ever provide. I am forming within you a strength that cannot be shaken. Every moment of waiting has been an altar where I have shaped your heart to carry more of me. You think the silence means no, but my silence is not refusal. It is refinement. I am not punishing you with time. I am positioning you with purpose. You asked for the blessing, but I am giving you the foundation first. You asked for the promise, but I am ensuring that when it comes, you will be able to hold it, not collapse under its weight. Do not mistake stillness for forgetfulness. I have not misplaced your prayers. I have not pushed aside your hopes. Every word you have spoken in faith has been recorded in my hands. Every tear you have wept in the night has watered the soil of the promise. Your waiting has not been wasted. It has been warfare. And you are winning, even when it feels like you are standing still. You wonder why I haven't answered yet, and I whisper because I am building something eternal. I am not just working on your circumstances. I am working on your character. I am developing endurance, patience, resilience, and fire in you. Faith that only lives in answered prayers is weak, but faith that breathes in the silence is glorious. And that is what I am cultivating in you. So hold your ground. Keep walking even when the path is unclear. Keep believing even when hope flickers like a dying flame. I have not delayed to disappoint you. I have delayed to develop you. And when I move, it will make sense. When I open the door, it will fit perfectly. When I say now, it will be worth every second you waited. Lean and trust me. Let patience rise in you like a holy fire. Let your hope anchor deep. I never withhold to harm, I withhold to heal. And when I release what I have prepared, you will see that the waiting wasn't punishment, it was promotion. Look around you. Feel the winds of change, their rhythms of life that ebb and flow, their rise and fall of seasons. Do you see it now? I have appointed them all. Winter does not come without my word. Spring does not bloom without my breath. Every season in your life is under my sovereign command, and not a single moment escapes my watchful eye. You felt like you are falling behind, haven't you? Like others are blossoming while you are buried. But my child, you are not buried, you are planted. And just because you are hidden does not mean you have been forgotten. I am the master gardener, and I tend to you with care. I have timed your growth perfectly. There is nothing late about you. Your life is not on pause, it is on purpose. The chill of this season may feel long, but even winter has its reasons. In the cold, roots grow deeper. In the silence, strength is forged. Do not curse the season you are in, receive it. Walk with me through it. Let me show you the beauty even in barren fields. Do not measure your destiny with the world's calendar. They rush, I refine, they strive, I sanctify. The world will say you are behind, but as you are becoming. The world will say hurry, but as hold fast. My timing brings peace, not confusion, not chaos, not contradiction. And peace is the signal that you are aligned with my will. You have longed for breakthrough, and I promise it will come. Just as the sun rises when I command it, so will your door open at my appointed time. Just as the rivers the soil softens, so will he walls fall and the way be made clear. But wait with me, as the earth waits for spring. Wait with expectancy, not anxiety. Wait with trust, not torment. You do not serve a God who is reactive. I am not scrambling to fix what is broken. I am not adjusting my plan because of man's resistance or hell's attempts. I am the one who says the end from the beginning. I orchestrate moments with mastery. I speak to the seasons and they respond to my voice. So I say to you now, be still in this place. Anchor your soul in my timing. Do not fear what you do not see. The seed does not quest. Tie in the soil, the tree does not panic in winter. The rose does not fight the frost. All creation trusts me. Will you? Let me teach you how to rest in this season. Let me train your heart to trust my timing. Let me show you that even here. Even now I am working. You're not running out of time. You're running into alignment. You're not behind schedule. You're in my perfect rhythm. Stay close to me. Let me lead you with peace. I am not late. I am Lord of the seasons, and I promise you harvest is coming. You thought you were wandering. You thought you had lost your way. But my child, the wilderness was never a punishment. It was a pathway. I led you there, just as I led Israel by the fire at night and the cloud by day. I did not abandon you in the dry place. I accompanied you, as I surrounded you, as I sustained you. Even in the desert I provided manna, fell water flowed from unlikely places. And though it seemed barren, it was blessed. Your wilderness season has been holy ground. Do not despise it. Do not wish it away. Let me show you the treasure hidden in the dust. You see lack, but as lessons. You feel forgotten, but I have been nearer than ever. You didn't walk through this alone. I was with you in the silence. I stood beside you when you questioned everything. I heard your whispered prayers, your midnight sobs, your angry outbursts, and your quiet surrender, and in ever turned away. I stayed. I upheld you when you didn't even know it. I carried you when your legs gave out beneath the weight of weariness. The wilderness refined you. It stripped away false strength and taught you to lean. It silenced distraction so you could finally hear me clearly. It removed the crutches and idols and replaced them with dependence on me. It was here that your faith grew roots. It was here that you learned to walk by trust, not sight. Let go of the idea that you wasted time in the wilderness. Nothing is wasted when it is surrendered to me. I redeem every tear, every moment, every wandering detour. Even what you thought was delay was divine development. Even what you call lost time, I used to build eternal weight within you. Now breathe, look back with new eyes, see the mercy in the monotony, the fire in the frustration, the gold in the ground that felt barren. Wilderness, different, stronger, purer, quieter in spirit, but louder in faith. You now carry a wisdom forged in fire. So do not mourn the wilderness, celebrate it. It was the womb of your next season. It prepared you for promise. It didn't disqualify you. It equipped you. And now, my child, you are ready. You are crossing over. Walk with courage, step forward with conviction. You are coming out of the wilderness leaning on me, and no enemy can withstand the strength that has been born through your brokenness. This was not the end. It was the making of something glow. Rias, my child, there were nights you questioned me. In the stillness, you searched for signs, straining your spirit to hear something, anything from me. You whispered into the dark, God, are you still there? And though my voice didn't thunder, thought the clouds didn't part, and no angel appeared at your bedside, I was never absent. In the quiet, immoved mountains, you believed my silence was rejection, but I was orchestrating what your eyes could not see. I was going ahead of you, smoothing rough places, shifting the hearts of kings, stirring resources into alignment, preparing rooms you had not yet entered. You couldn't harm because I was too busy opening doors that had been sealed shut for generations. I was laying the foundation for something far greater than you had the strength to ask for. You begged for immediate answers, but I was giving eternal solutions. You wanted a quick fix, but I was setting up a divine unveiling that would leave no doubt that I alone am God. I was no diddle. I was intentional. I was not distant. I was deeply engaged. Every detail, every thread, every divine intersection was calculated in my perfect wisdom. I do not was to moments. I do not forget prayers. You thought your cries went unheard, but I gathered each one like a jewel. I carried them close to my chest, responding not with haste but with holiness. I was writing your victory long before the curtain lifted. You didn't seem, because I was working in the shadows, softening hardened hearts, removing unseen threats, and clearing the debris of what once blocked your way. You saw silence is all strategy. You experienced delay. I initiated deliverance. I moved in realms beyond your comprehension. When others spoke against you, I was silencing their words in the spirit. When your resources dried up, I was redirecting provision through unexpected streams. When friends abandoned you, he was raising up new covenant connections, people who would honor you, uplift you, and walk with you into your calling. Stop interpreting my silence as neglect. It was the sound of my preparation. I work in sacred rhythms, not random bursts. I cultivate, I prune, I align, and I release at the precise moment. When all things are ready, you may have felt abandoned, but I was closer than your next breath, shaping what your faith could not yet contain. Now open your heart to this truth. It never stopped working, and what I have prepared is closer than your Eli's. You are about to see what I was building behind the veil. You will step into answered prayers that took root during what you called nothing. That empty space was never empty. It was sacred ground, where I labored in secret, so I could reward you in the open. So breathe, my beloved, you were not ignored. You were being prepared to witness a miracle so personal, so specific that you will know without question that it could only have come from me. And you'll look back on the silence, and you'll see it for what it truly was. The sound of your future being born. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. If you stop for my child, you will miss the part where I begin to unveil what the pain was preparing. I have seen your tears. I have waited with you. Do not turn away just as I begin to reveal the meaning behind the silence. To walk away now would be to silence the answer to your very own cry. There were moments when the bottom dropped out. You lost people, positions, opportunities. You felt stripped, stunned, paralyzed. The enemy laughed, whispering that you were finished, that your time had passed. But listen to me now. Every plot against you was intercepted by my hand. Every trap was turned into a tunnel. What hell called defeat, I renamed destiny. Your pain wasn't pointless. Your destruction was destruction. It was divine strategy. The enemy sent it to delay you, but I used it to direct you. Is all what was coming before you ever entered the trial, and I repurposed it for your rising. Joseph's prison was not a sentence, it was a staging ground. And so is yours. I placed you there not to punish you, but to position you. You wanted promotion without pressure, but pressure produces power. The fire you walked through didn't consume you, it formed you. The detour you hated refined your discernment. The disappointment you carried taught you to hear my voice more clearly than the voices of men. I allowed shaking not to destroy foundations, but to reveal what can no longer stand. What crumbled was your past, what remained is your future. Do you see now? It turned every accusation into a platform. It took every betrayal and turned it into a lesson. I let people leave so I could bring those ordained to walk with you. The enemy tried to bury you. He didn't know you were a seed. What you lost didn't break you. It made room for the glory to come. I pruned you not because I was done with you, but because I intend for you to bear more fruit. The branch that bears fruit I prune, and I have never wasted a single cut. Yes, the weeping came, but what came after will eclipse the pain entirely. The comeback I have prepared is tailored to your story. The glory that will be revealed in you will silence every lie that dared to declare your defeat. You will risen not in the strength of man, but in the power of my spirit. So shake off the dust, stand in the firelight of my promise. Every setback was a step up in disguise. Every delay was divine leverage. What the enemy meant to use as a tom, I have turned into a testimony. You were never forsaken. You were being fashioned. And now the enemy will watch you walk in the very promise he tried to destroy. Your testimony will shake foundations. Your breakthrough will bless others. And when they ask how it happened, you will say, only God could have done this. Because truly, my child, never let the enemy have the final word. I write the last chapter, and I sing glory. You measure time by seconds, minutes, and years. You look at the calendar and feel the weight of what hasn't come. But I exist beyond your measurements. I move according to eternal purposes, not temporary deadlines. Mithron does not sit under the pressure of human expectation. I dwell in the fullness of perfect timing. You look at your age and wonder if you have missed your moment. You feel the pressure of culture, whispering that you should be further by now. But I say to you, rest, I am not late. I do not rush, I do not panic. I am the Ancient of Days, and I hold time in my hands like a river flowing where I please. One day to me is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years like one day. I see the end from the beginning. I do not begin what I have not already completed. Your life is not off track, it is on course. Your journey is not a delay, it is a dance with my design. Stop measuring yourself against timelines. It never wrote, I am not in a hurry, I am making something eternal. You are not running out of time, you are stepping into a prepared moment. I am not caught off guard by your current reality. If foresaw it, if formed it, if fashioned your destiny before you ever took your first breath. Nothing surprises me, nothing hurries me, nothing derails my plan for you. What you see as pause, I see as process. What you call delay, I call development. Trust that I will act at the appointed time. Not too soon, not too late, but precisely when every piece has aligned. When I move, there will be no resistance that can stand. When I speak, no power in heaven or hell can delay the manifestation. No, let go of the rush, lay down the anxiety that comes from comparing your life to theirs. You are not behind, you're being refined. Let me teach you to honor the rhythm of my spirit, rather than the tempo of the world. Let me write the soundtrack of your soul, one that beats in harmony with my eternal heartbeat. I am not distant, I am deeply involved. I enter your moments with precision. I appear suddenly, but I prepare thoroughly. You don't need to predict when I'll move. You only need to prepare to receive when I do. Keep your lamp full, stay faithful in the little things. I am closer than you think, and time submits to me authority. Walk in confidence. The clock does not control your calling, the years do not weaken my word. The hourglass may empty, but I remain infinite. I am not just the God of time, I am the master of fulfillment, and I declare this over you now. You have not missed it. My purpose is unfolding even now. My child, you have waited long. You have believed when everything around you fell silent. You have stood in faith when the ground beneath your feet shook. There were days you questioned if it mattered, if the prayers you whispered in the darkness reached me, if the declarations you made in trembling hope shifted anything in the heavens. Hear me now. Your faith has not gone unnoticed, and it has never been in vain. Every time you held on to my word, even when circumstances screamed the opposite, you built an altar in the spirit. Every time you lifted your eyes when the weight of sorrow pressed down, you created a place for my glory to dwell. When you praised me through clenched teeth and tired tears, I received it as pure worship, more precious than gold. Refined by fire, you thought I was watching what happened to you, but I was watching what happened in you. As you choose trust over bitterness, surrender over striving, I witnessed your private battles, the moments none applauded, where you laid down your pride, forgave offenses, and kept walking. That was not weakness, that was power. That was spiritual warfare, and you won more than you know. I do not overlook those who hope in me. I am a rewarder, not just of works, but of the one who believes in the silence. It reassures the heart that says, even if nothing changes, we'll still believe. That kind of faith moves me. That kind of trust opens the floodgates of heaven, and you, my beloved, have moved me deeply. The tests you endured weren't meant to break you. They were designed to shape you. I allowed pressure to produce endurance, waiting to cultivate wisdom, silence to awaken discernment. I watched over every season, measuring every moment with precision. Not one trial went unchecked, and not one sacrifice will go unrewarded. You may not see it yet, but the fruit of your faith is coming, the seed planted in tears. Ilbripian joy, the words you spoke in faith are returning to you multiplied. The dreams you almost buried are being resurrected with fresh fire. What you thought you lost will return with increase. Do not grow weary now. Do not let discouragement rob you of what is about to break open. You have endured the fire. I am now revealing the gold. You have trusted me when it hurt, and now I will show you what that trust was building behind the veil. I have been moved by your faith. I have been pleased by your endurance, and I will not allow what you have sown in belief to return void. My promises are not suggestions. They are declarations. You did not believe in vain. You built your future on the foundation of unshakable truth, and that foundation will now support everything I pour into our life. Stand ready, it's coming, not because you earned it, but because you believed for it. And never forget those who wait well. You have been carrying a weight that was never yours to bear alone. You felt the pressure mounting, expectations from others, responsibilities that crush timelines you can't seem to meet. The world around you is loud, demanding, urgent. It whispers lies to your soul, saying you're behind, you're not enough, you're wasting time. But I say this to you now. My purpose over your life is not fragile, and it is not held hostage by the pressure you feel. I don't measure your success by how well you perform under stress. I measure by how fully you surrender. You are not failing because you're weary. You are not falling behind because things haven't moved yet. My purpose isn't built on your hustle. It's built in my sovereignty. What I have declared over you will not collapse under the weight of your emotion, your delay, or your momentary discouragement. The pain you have walked through is not proof of my absence. It is proof of my pruning. I am producing something eternal within you. Pressure may have crushed your plans, but it has not altered mine. The trials that pressed you were not punishments. They were preparation. You have been refined, not rejected. You wondered if I was angry. You feared that you missed something. But I tell you this, if I wanted you to miss it, you wouldn't still be standing. The very fact that you are hearing these words is evidence that my hand is still on you. My grace has kept you through what should have broken you. My mercy has outlasted your mist. Stop defining your future by how things feel right now. Feelings are not facts in my kingdom. I am not building your life on the emotions of a single moment. I am shaping it according to a purpose that cannot be shaken. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. What you call pressure, I call the turning point. What you call a breakdown is ease breakthrough forming. Do not flee this moment. Lean into it. Let me strengthen your hands and steady your heart. Let me remind you that nothing can stop what I have begun. You were never meant to carry the whole weight. I carry the government on my shoulders, and I carry you too. Rest. Lay down the burden of proving your worth. You have nothing to prove. I have already approved you. Let go of what you think needs to happen and make space for what I will make happen. My timing will never crush you. It will crown you. My plan is still to live even under pressure. Come now, breathe again. I will not allow the weight to destroy what I have been forming. You will come through this not only intact, but elevated, because I'm not just protecting your soul. I'm preparing your influence. I'm not just easing your pain. I'm expanding your reach. You will emerge a stronger, steadier, more surrendered. My purpose will stand and nothing will stop it. Note vent this. You have been through enough storms to question what still remains. You have seen dreams shake, relationships fall, prayers go unanswered for so long that you started to wonder if they were ever truly heard. But listen carefully now, for this is the voice of your Father. The promises still stands. What I have spoken over your life did not expire. What I declared over you was not conditional on perfection. You may have faltered, yes, you may have grown weary, but I am not like man. I do not revoke what I have promised simply because time has passed or circumstances have changed. I am faithful even when you waver. My word is sealed with covenant, not convenience. You have tried to convince yourself to let go. You've been tempted to lower your expectations. But I say to you, lift your eyes again. Dust off the vision. I didn't stoke that fire in you for it to die out. I lit it for Ariason. And even when it burned low, I guarded the ember. I preserved the seed. I protected the roots underground while you thought it was dead. You haven't missed it. You didn't disqualify yourself. If I promised it, I will perform it. No voice of doubt, no human opinion, no demonic resistance can overturn what I have written with my own hand. Heaven does not erase my decrees. Your season may have shifted, but my intention never has. What I authored, I will complete. I watch over my word to bring it to pass. I am the same God who spoke worlds into existence, who kept Abraham's promise alive across decades, who raised dead things and called them living. I have not forgotten you. I have not withdrawn the promise. Hold on, not with desperation, but with confidence. Speak the vision again, write it down, declare it as if it's already done, because in my reality, it is. You are simply catching up to what I have already prepared, so refuse to settle. Don't reduce your dreams to what you think is realistic. Faith was never meant to be safe. Trust in the wildness of my goodness. Trust that what I've said I mean, and what I mean I manifest. This is not the end. This is reactivation. What you thought was lost is being revived. What you thought was over is about to overflow. The promise still stands, not just as Zamri, but as a movement that's about to take form. Now rise, stand on it, walk in it. Build like it's coming because it is. Speak like it's near because it is. Believe again, not because you feel strong, but because I am. My promise never relied on your strength, only on my word, and I do not fail. If your spirit leaped at that, share this message with one friend right now. Pass this blessing forward. Let someone else know they are not alone, my child. If my promises have stirred your spirit, if my word today has marked your spirit, healed your doubts, or called you higher, then don't let this moment pass. You asked me, how can I be part of what you are doing? This is how, when you sow into this message through a super thanks, membership, or donation, you are not just supporting a video, you are carrying my voice to someone else's wilderness. You are planting seeds of breakthrough, rivers of mercy, flames of hope that I will breathe into another life. I said, give and it will be given to you. And I do not speak in vain. I will multiply what you release in joy, in peace, in supernatural increase that no bank can calculate. The link to give is in the video description below. Step now, and let me meet your obedience with open heaven. Act now, move boldly. Let this be your answered prayer to the cry, use me, Lord. If you feel stirred, click the link in the description or tap the support button now. Sow what you can. Your obedience right now releases the blessing for someone else's breakthrough. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. You heard of my promise, but now comes the unveiling of my purpose. If you leave now, you'll miss the moment I lift the veil. I have waited patiently to whisper these next truths into your soul. Would you really turn away now when I am about to show you how nothing, absolutely nothing, was wasted? You have watched others sprint forward, doors opening around them like waterfalls, while yours remained sealed shut. You have sat in rooms where their names were called and yours was overlooked. And somewhere between comparison and confusion, the question began to whisper, am I falling behind? But I answer you now. No, my child, you are not behind, you are becoming. The world marks growth by speed and mark it by surrender. The world celebrates visibility, isolated depth. I am not measuring you by milestones, but by how fully you yield to me in the quiet, unseen places. You think you are late, but you are right on time, my time. You believe others have surpassed you, but your lane is sovereignly designed. Noon can run your race, and noon can arrive at your destination before you. Do not let the pressure of perceived delay still the joy of divine becoming. I am shaping. Not only your steps, but your soul. I am forming in you a character that can carry what your calling will require. Rushing would ruin it. Premature promotion would crush what I have designed to flourish. So I led you slowly, not because you're weak, but because the weight of your purpose demands roots that grow deep before fruit can be seen. You don't need to catch up. You need to stay close to my whisper. Stay close to me word. Stay closer to the process that feels too slow, but is actually right on schedule. Becoming is not always loud. It is often tender. Do not despise these days. They are not your prison, they are your preparation. I am not just adjusting your circumstances, I am awakening your identity. I am revealing who you are, not just what you do. I am teaching you to hear me clearly before you speak boldly. I am teaching you to walk with me faithfully before you lead others confidently. There is a beauty in this slow becoming, a strength I am weaving into you that cannot be shaken by applause or abandonment. I am not just adding titles or blessings to your life. I am forming a vessel that can carry my glory. I am developing integrity where applause cannot reach. I am building endurance in silence so that when the noise comes, you will not fall. I am refining your motives, teaching your hands to serve before they lead, molding your voice to carry my truth with weight and purity. You have not been overlooked. You have been planted. And planted things do not appear overnight. They stretch downward before they stretch outward. They deepen before they blossom. The darkness around you is not evidence of absence, but of hiddenness, and I hide what it treasure. Do not resent the pruning. I prune what bears fruit, not because it is failing, but because I want more depth, more clarity, more fruit that will last. The cuts you feel are surgical. I am removing what no longer serves where you are going. I am shaping you for stages that require more than gifting. They require holiness. You are not stagnant. You are becoming durable. I am tempering your spirit so the weight of influence doesn't bend your character. I am training your vision to see people before platforms, purpose before popularity, obedience before ambition, because what I am building through you cannot collapse under pressure. It must carry generations. So keep showing up, keep learning, keep surrendering when none sees. Every unseen yes is building a spiritual infrastructure that I will reveal at the appointed time. When the moment comes, it will not be because you climbed, it will be because I lifted. And what I lift no man can bring down. Your promotion is not denied. It is maturing. You are not being passed over, you are being equipped. I have not forgotten the promise. I am simply ensuring you can hold it without losing yourself. You are growing, you are stretching, and soon you will see what all of this was for. Soars with readiness, keep your heart tender and your spirit teachable. For when I open the door, it will not just be a season of breakthrough. It will be a season of endurance, glory, and divine fulfillment. Because in ever raise without reason and in ever grow without glory, I have taken you through fire so you could carry glory. But you haven't seen the fullness yet. Don't stop now. If you walk away here, you will miss the part where I turnishes into beauty. You will miss the part where my strategy shines your suffering. And beloved, it would grieve my heart for you to stop before you realize just how deeply I have been involved in Avia. Right detail, you focus on where you are going, you pray for the destination, you dream of the summit, the fulfillment, the day when everything makes sense. But tell you this, my plan does not begin at the breakthrough. My plan includes every step you take to get there. I am not just the God of your arrival, I am the God of your journey. You think progress is only marked by arrival points, but I count the silent sacrifices, the small obediences, the internal victories no one claps for. I saw you choose integrity when it cost you. I saw you show kindness when it wasn't returned. It marked the moment you kept walking, even when the path was unclear. These moments, my child, are not side notes. They are sacred steps woven into the fullness of my design. The twists you feared were wrong turns were actually redirections. The pauses you thought were failures were pauses of protection. You are not wandering aimlessly. You are walking in a story that I have written in full, and I was to nothing, not Adar, not Hatriel, not a single step. I am weaving it all into a mosaic of divine beauty. I don't just appear at the finish line waiting for you to arrive. I am walking beside you in every moment. I am in the detour as much as the destination. I am in the process just as deeply as the promise. Learn to seem in the middle. Learn to honor the steps, not just the summit. You believe, though, that the promise is far off, as if the journey delays me. But I am present in your progress. I am at work in the becoming. Every valley builds your endurance. Every mountain sharpens your faith. Every quiet stretch deepens your trust. What you call delay, I call divine construction. Let go. Off the belief that your life starts when you arrive. Your life is unfolding now. This step matters. This chapter counts. Do not despise the process. Celebrate it because I am in it. I am building character that can carry the fulfillment. I am writing a story that will testify of my faithfulness, not just in the victory, but in the voyage. Solo look around. Breathe mean. The path you walk is not wasted, it is holy ground. The moments you have dismissed as detours are divine designs. I am not just guiding your future. I am guarding your present. Take the next step with pose with boldness, with trust, for every footfall echoes in eternity, and every step you bring Shevan's plan closer to sight. You are not lost, you are led. And every inch of this journey is a declaration of my intangible love. You have wondered why your journey has unfolded the way it has, why the path twisted through pain, why the delay stretched so long, why your prayers felt suspended in the silence. But is this now? Your story is not small. It is not separate. It is not solitary. Your life is woven into redemption so vast, so glorious, that only eternity will reveal the full beauty of what I have written through you. You are not living a life of random moments. You are living a life of divine echo. Every page of your journey echoes into the lives of others. Every delay you have endured has been a deeper preparation, not only for your fulfillment, but for the impact your story will leave behind. I am not simply working for you. I am working through you. The pain you walked through is now fertile soil for someone else's healing. The endurance you developed in secret is now oil for someone else's fire. You asked me for deliverance and I gave you legacy. I allowed the waiting to build something that would outlast you. Your obedience in the dark has written light into the path of others who will come after you. You think you are just one person, but you are a vessel of my glory. I do not waste my glory. I do not pour it into lives without purpose. When I write a story, I write it with the power to transform generations. Your life is not about survival, it is about inheritance. What I have allowed you to endure has birthed a weight of glory, one that will be felt by every soul you touch. A testimony you carry, formed in the fire, will break chains in rooms you have never entered yet. That miracle you waited for will become the blueprint for someone else's hope. Do not diminish your story. Do not resent the shaping. The very things you would erase are the very things I will use. The scars you hide are the places where my redemption shines brightest. You have not failed me by struggling. You have honored me by continuing. And that continuation is a living message that I am good even in the wait. You are a chapter in a far greater book, a story of kingdom redemption, of generational transformation. Your life will note ending whispers. It will thunder with the sound of a fulfilled promise that lifted others from despair. What I do in you will ripple outward with eternal consequence. Source now, not just for yourself, but for those who will find me through your journey. Walk boldly, not because your strength is full, but because my purpose in you is unstoppable. You are part of a holy lineage, and what began with you will bless more than you can count. There were nights when your tears shook the pillow before your head did. There were mornings when hope barely whispered. You prayed with hands that trembled. You waited with a heart that ached. You thought I was far, but heard me clearly, and ever forgot you, not for a moment. Not for a breath. You were never unseen, never lost. In the crowd of needs, never one voice among millions. You were my focus. My gaze never left you. My heart never turned from you. In every silence, I was near. In every pause, I was working. You may not have felt my presence, but I was closer than your breath. Is all the prayers you didn't have words for. I counted the tears that none else noticed. I held your soul when your strength broke. I stood beside you in hospital rooms, in sleepless nights, and whispered breakdowns behind closed doors. You were never forsaken. Even when you thought you failed me, I covered you. Eve, when you doubted, I remained faithful and never flinched, and never reconsidered my promise, and never rewrote my plan. I do not change like shifting shadows. I remain, and I remained with you. I watched you grow while you thought you were falling apart. Is all the roots going deeper, the strength you didn't know you had, the worship that came from a place deeper than comfort. That kind of faith moves the heavens, and it moved me. I didn't answer quickly, not because I didn't care, but because I was preparing something greater than you asked for. I wasn't just giving you a gift, I was making you ready to carry it. I wasn't just fulfilling a promise, I was expanding your capacity to hold what would come. You looked at the clock and assumed I was late, but I don't measure by hours. I measure by eternity, and your delay was not absence. It was alignment. I was bringing people into place, I was rearranging outcomes, I was softening hearts, opening doors, preparing rooms, and never forgot the timeline. I simply refined it. Look now. Can you see it? Even in your pain, I preserved you. Even in your confusion, I carried you. My fingerprints are one for survival. Every breakthrough, every breath you still take. You are here because I held you. You are whole because I healed you when you didn't know you were bleeding. So breathe again. Rest in this. I never forgot you. I never overlooked you. I have loved you with an everlasting love, not dependent on your performance, not threatened by your struggle. You are mine. I etched your name on my hands, sealed your purpose in my covenant, and I am still unfolding your destiny. You are remembered, you are chosen, and you are standing on the edge of what I have not only remembered, but what I am now revealing. You waited, you have prayed, you have wept silently while others celebrated loudly. You have honored me when the heavens were quiet, when breakthrough felt like a myth, when others questioned your faith. And even you began to wonder if it was all in vain, but the silence is breaking. The season is shifting, and I declare to you now, this is my appointed time. What you longed for is no longer distant. What you believed for is now visible. What I promised is no longer reserved, it is being released. The delay has matured you. The struggle has refined you, and the wait has qualified you. You are no longer just hoping, you're ready. I have watched over my word concerning you. I have preserved it through every test, guarded it through every attack, and held it in place. Until the moment of unveiling, this is not random, this is not coincidence. This is the culmination of divine orchestration, and the door you could not force open is now swinging wide because as at its time, you will see answers now, not because you fought harder, but because the time is ripe. You will step into fulfillment, not because you chased it down, but because I have drawn it to you. What was withheld is now flowing. What was restrained is now pouring. Step forward. Do not doubt your readiness. Do not let fear cloud what I have already declared. You are walking into something unfamiliar. You are stepping into what I have been preparing you for all along. And when you cross this threshold, you will know the wait was not a punishment. It was a preparation for release. Speak boldly again, build again, dream again. What I placed in you is no longer waiting in the shadows. It is rising to meet its moment, and you are not behind. You are precisely where I intended you to be. The delay didn't cancel the vision, it clarified it. It purified your motives, it solidified your faith. Now watch as I fulfill what looked impossible. Sybil, watch as I confirm what you held on to in private. Watch as the promises you protected begin to manifest with power and clarity. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. This is not the end of the story. This is the chapter that makes sense of every previous line. You have stepped into fulfillment. Not one day, not someday, but now. Everything you have walked through, every battle you survived, every night you cried insolence, every delay that felt like closed heaven has been part of something far greater than your personal journey. I never intended your life to end at fulfillment. I intended it to radiate glory, not fleeting human recognition, not temporary applause, but eternal, weighty, unmistakable glory, mine. Displayed through you. You are not merely a vessel of purpose, you are a revelation of my faithfulness. Every breakthrough you experience will not simply validate your prayers, it will magnify my name. When they see what I have done in you, they will not say, "Look what they achieved." They will say, "Only God could have done this." I designed your story to be unexplainable by human logic. I allowed the odds to stack against you. I permitted delays that logic could not defend. I led you through seasons that couldn't be summarized by strategy or skill, because what I am doing in your life will not be attributed to intellect, effort, or luck. It will point clearly, undeniably, exclusively to me. When I move, it is not subtle. When I restore, it is not partial. When I release what has been reserved, it is not hidden in shadows. It bursts forth like light at the end of night. The things you thought you lost will rise again, not to give you comfort alone, but to give me glory. I will make your testimony a weapon. Your scars will carry healing for others. Your endurance will inspire awakening in places that have grown cold. You are not the end goal. You are the signpost. What I do in you will mark the path for others to believe again, to dream again, to trust me again. Do not hold back your praise. When you see me fulfill what you held on to through every storm, lift your voice. Let your joy be loud. Let your testimony be unashamed. This is not the time to play small. This is the time to declare boldly, "The Lord has done it." I will silence every lie that said you were forgotten. I will confront every voice that mocked your faith. I will overturn every word spoken against your promise. When I act, it will not be in secret, it will be in full view, and those who questioned your path will witness the glory of my hand upon you. This is not vindication rooted in pride, this is validation rooted in me. You waited well, you believed when nothing moved, you worshipped in the unseen, and now I reward what was sown in surrender, not because you earned it, but because I promised it, and I am faithful to my word. So prepare your heart for fulfillment, not as an end, but as the beginning of something holy. What is revealed in you will shake atmospheres. What is born from this season carry ripple effects that reach generations. The weight of glory upon your life will break chains, open doors, and ignite hearts. You did not endure in vain, you did not suffer unseen, and you did not wait without reason. My glory is not an abstract idea. It is now a reality flowing through you, and everything you have walked through, every tear, every hidden act of obedience, every unseen moment of faith was worth it. Now step forward into this season, not just with hope, but with fire, not just with joy, but with boldness, not just the recipient of promises fulfilled, but as a radiant beacon of my glory, because this is what you were always made for. If this message has stirred something inside you, subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next word. I bring this as the path of unfolding, and you want to stay in step, my beloved. If my glory has ignited something in you, if my word today has marked your spirit healed, your doubts or called you higher, then step now into this moment of divine response. You have prayed to be used. You have asked to be a vessel. This is your invitation. When you give, you aren't just donating. You are declaring that my life is part of God's plan for another soul. Every super thanks you release, every membership you join, every PayPal gift sown through the link in the description below, becomes soil poured on someone else's altar. I said those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. And I will not let your sacrifice go unnoticed. Watch how I open doors no man can shut when you step in faith. Now rise, join me this holy harvest, and watch the floodgates of my glory open through your obedience. Now that you've heard my voice, don't let this be just another message you remember. Declare it out loud. My life is not behind schedule. Heaven's plan is unfolding. Write that in the comments. Share this message with someone who needs it, and leave a short testimony below. Speak what you've received, and let your voice unlock what heaven has prepared. I didn't bring you this far just to inspire you. I brought you here to ignite you. So declare it now out loud in faith with boldness. My life is not behind schedule. Heaven's plan is still unfolding. Every step was sacred. Every delay was divine. God's timing is perfect, and I trust His hand. I am not forgotten. I am chosen. I am becoming everything He designed me to be. His plan for me was never delayed, only divinely timed. Write it in the comments if you believe it. Seal it with your words, not because I need to hear it, but because you do. Speak life into your atmosphere. Stir the soil of your destiny with faith. You are not a passive observer in this promise. You are a participant. And something begins to shift when your voice agrees with mine. Share your heart. Share your testimony. Share your trust. There are others waiting for the courage to believe again. And your voice might be the key. So tell me, my beloved, what promise are you still holding on to? What truth did this message awaken in you? What delay have you now recognized as divine? Leave your words below, because when you speak, you align. When you testify, you unlock. When you comment, you don't just respond, you step. Let this not just be a video you watched. Let it be a moment that marked you, because this was never just about a message, it was about your movement. And now move. Declare, comment, believe your appointed time is now. But wait, this is not over yet, and I am still speaking, my child. I want you to come closer. Let us speak of this thing that troubles you so deeply. This relentless ticking of the clock in your soul is you. As you glance at the calendar with a knot forming in your stomach, that rush of panic whispering that you are late, that you have somehow fallen behind. You look at your job, at the goals you set, at the path others are walking, and a quiet dread tells you that my promise has been delayed, that my plan has been forgotten. You feel the pressure from the world and even from yourself to hurry, to catch up, to force things into being. But I need you to listen to me voice now, the only voice that speaks with eternal truth. I want to quiet that storm inside of you with a truth more solid than the ground beneath your feet. My plan for your life was never an afterthought. It was not crafted in response to your birth or your prayers. Before the first mountain was carved, before the first ocean was filled, before a single star was named and hung in the velvet expanse of space, I knew you. Your life in its entirety was conceived in my heart, in an eternity where time itself did not exist. You were not a contingency. You are an original, a masterpiece of my intention, woven into the fabric of creation with infinite love and perfect foresight. His plan for you is not written in pencil, subject to the erasers of circumstance. It is inscribed on an eternal scroll held securely in my hands. Your world, I know, is a place of constant disruption. Meetings are canceled, flights are delayed, relationships break, and unexpected challenges throw your entire life into what feels like chaos. You have learned to expect disruption, and so you look at your life and you project that same chaos onto me work. But Herm, my precious one, my timetable does not operate like yours. It is not subject to the world's econo. my political unrest, or to the failures of other people. My divine schedule has never been thrown off by a single second. It is rooted in my perfect all-knowing wisdom. Is every moment of your past, every challenge of your present, and every victory of your future all at once. I know the desires of your heart before you can even form the words to speak them. My absolute power, my sovereignty is the very bedrock upon which your life is built. Imagine that for a moment. While the world around you may shake, while your own feelings may rise and fall like the tide, the foundation beneath you is unmovable. Your timeline is built up on this rock, not on the shiftings and soft human opinion or your own striving. Every single promise I've whispered to your spirit, the promise of healing, of provision, of restoration, of purpose. Each one has a divinely appointed moment for its fulfillment. It is not a question of if but only of when. The promise is not lost, it has not been forgotten, and it is certainly not late. It is journeying toward you on a path that I myself have cleared, said arrive at the precise moment. It will have the most glorious and beautiful impact on your life and the lives of those you will touch. So I am asking you now to do something that requires immense faith. Let go. Unclench the fist that holds so tightly to your own schedule. Toy your own understanding of how things should be. Breathe deeply and let this truth settle into the very marrow of your bones. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I was there when your story began, and I'm already standing in your triumphant future, celebrating the end. Your times, every second, every season, every wait, and every fulfillment are held in my hands, and there is no safer, more perfect, more loving place for them to be. Rest in that, rest in me, my beloved. I want you to understand why this waiting feels so difficult for you. It is because you are experiencing time as a hum, and moment by agonizing moment. You see today, you see the silence, the unchanged circumstances, the prayer that seems to hang in the air unanswered. You see the bill that is due, the relationship that is still broken, the diagnosis that has not changed. And in these isolated snapshots, you feel a crushing sense of disappointment. You are looking at a single unfinished frame of a glorious film, and you're trying to judge the entire masterpiece by it. You are judging my authorship by one difficult chapter, forgetting that I have already written the triumphant end. Invite you now, right in this moment, to lift your eyes. Lift them from the clock on your wall that relentlessly marks the passing of seconds you feel are being wasted. Lift them from the calendar on your phone that reminds you another month has gone by with no visible change. Look away from those things that bind you to the simple sequential ticking of time and fix your eyes on me. I am the timeless on. I exist outside of your clocks and calendars. I inhabit eternity. Form 1,000 years are like a day, and a day is like 1,000 years. I see the magnify. Sense sprawling tapestry of your existence in a single glance. Is see the thread of this painful waiting, and how it is weaving a color of deep resilient beauty into the final design, a color that would be missing without it. What you perceive as a delay, my child, is a crucial divine development. When a seed is planted in the earth, it does not immediately sprout. It enters a period of darkness, of stillness, of breaking. To the impatient eye, it looks like nothing is happening. It looks like a delay. But in that hidden space, the most critical transformation is occurring. It is gathering the strength to break through the soil. That is what this season is for you. You feel the delay, but I am orchestrating your development. You feel the silence, but I am cultivating your strength this earthly time. This short and precious chapter is a proving ground for an eternal story. The patience, the trust, the character you build now will be the currency of heaven, the very foundation of the responsibilities and joys I have prepared for you in the life to come. So do not despise this feeling of being slowed down. Embrace my pace. Find peace not in the speed of your progress, but in the perfection of my eternal perspective. Surrender your watch, your schedule, your desperate need to see it now. And in exchange, I will give you a peace that your clock can never measure. and the world can never take away my precious one. I hurt the each in your heart that cries out, I am doing nothing. My life is on hold, I am wasting time. You look at the stillness and you interpret it as stagnation. You see the lack of outward activity and you believe you're being unproductive, but that is the great lie of the enemy in the world. The period of waiting is never empty time in my kingdom. It is never wasted. In fact, it is often the most purposeful, most profound, and most transformative season of your entire life. The waiting is not an empty room. It is my private greenhouse, where I tend to your soul away from the harsh glare of the public eye. It is the gymnasium where your spiritual muscles are being built, not through frantic activity, but through the heavy holy lifting of trust. It is in the quiet of the wait that your roots are forced to grow deeper when everything on the surface is flourishing. It is easy to have shallow roots to draw your strength from visible success, from the praise of others, from your own abilities. But when the surface is barren, when there is no visible encouragement, your soul has only one place to turn. It must turn downward, digging deep into the soil of my character. Searching for the living water of my word, I am allowing this season of waiting to drive your roots so deep into him that when the storms of life inevitably come to beat against your blessing, you will not be toppled. You will stand firm, anchored in a trust that was forged in the silence. I use these times to cultivate the most beautiful and powerful fruits of my spirit in you. Patience is not a virtue you can learn in a rush. It's grown only in the soil of delay. True faith is not built when all your prayers are answered instantly. It is fortified each morning you wake, see no change, and still choose to whisper. It rusts you. Endurance is not developed when the path is easy. It is forged as you walk through the discomfort of uncertainty. Leaning on me with every step, I am preparing the ground of your heart to receive the blessing I have for you. A blessing given to an unprepared heart can be a burden, not a gift. This waiting the hard soil of your pride. It removes the rocks of self-reliance, and it makes your heart soft and ready. This sacred space of waiting is where your frantic reliance on yourself is finally mercifully exchanged for a peaceful, powerful reliance on me. So, do not despise the wait, my child. It is my gift of transformation to you. If this word is landing in your heart right now, and you want more messages like this to strengthen you in the quiet, subscribe, follow, and share this with one person who needs to hear it today. Do it now. Someone is waiting to be encouraged. I hear your cry. Why not now? I am ready. The need is here. Why are you withholding this from me? Your sense of urgency feels so real, so right. It is born of your limited sight, your view of the immediate need and the immediate pain. But my timing, my beloved, is born of infinite wisdom and a love that sees all things. What you call now is a single tick of the clock. What I call the appointed time is the perfect strategic moment in which the fulfillment of my promise will have its greatest and most glorious impact. My not yet is not a denial. It is an act of supreme love and divine protection. I want you to imagine a loving father with a child who desperately wants the keys to a powerful car. The child insists, I am ready now. But the father in his wisdom knows the child has not learned the rules of the road, has not developed the maturity to handle that much power. To give the child the keys now wouldn't it be an act of love but of negligence? It would be commissioning a disaster. In the very same way, I often see areas in your character that need to be matured, skills that need to be developed before you can handle the weight of the blessing you're asking for. To release it to you prematurely would be a disservice, not a blessing. It might even lead to your ruin. Furthermore, your life is not lived in a vacuum. Your breakthrough is intricately connected to the lives of others. I, the master weaver, see how your story is interwoven with theirs. Your now might not be the now for a person whose heart am still softening to help you. Your promotion might be delayed because I am positioning a new leader above you, who will champion you rather than the one who is there now, who would stifle you. My poem considers the perfect alignment of every person, every circumstance, every detail. I am more interested in your ultimate good than your immediate comfort. I am more dedicated to your eternal character than your temporary relief. When you feel that desperate pull of urgency, I invite you to pause, take a deep breath, and my Father sees the whole picture. His not yet is an act of perfect love. Trust me, my timing is always born of a wisdom that has your absolute best interest at heart. If you'd like a short prayer and one-page waiting well guide to help you stay steady each morning, find the link in the description. Download it, print it, and use each day this week. Make this season's acrid not wasted. My child, you feel your faith beginning to waver along silence, the unfulfilled hope. It feels like your trust is getting weaker, not stronger. The voice of doubt grows louder with each passing day. This is the great battle of the waiting season. But I want to reveal to you what is truly happening. Your faith is not dying, it is being forged. An untested faith is a fragile thing, merely an nice idea. It is a faith that has walked through the fire and waiting. That becomes a powerful, unbreakable reality. This season is the proving ground. It is the furnace of my love. Every single day that you choose to trust me, in the absolute absence of evidence, you are building a spiritual muscle. Every time you reject a doubt and hold on to my promise, you're winning a great victory. The intense heat of this furnace is burning away the impurities in your soul. It burns away the fine print you mentally added to my promise, your need to control the outcome, your fear that I have forgotten you, and your subtle pride in your own ability to make things happen. What is left after this fire is a pure, refined faith, a faith so resilient it can withstand any storm that life throws at it. It is a faith that brings me immense glory. Look at my friend Abraham. I promised him a son, a legacy as numerous as the stars, but then came the silence. Years turned into decades. His and Sarah's bodies grew old. Every circumstance screamed that the promise was impossible. Imagine the doubt, the whispers of their community. It was a furnace of waiting, yet they chose to believe me. He held on to me word, and in doing so he became the father of faith, a legacy for all generations. That same potential lies within you. The patience you are learning is not passive. It is an active, powerful choice to trust me over your circumstances. This is producing in you a treasure of eternal worth, a faith that is more precious than gold. Do not be afraid of the fire, my beloved. I am in the furnace with you, and I am using it to shape you into a vessel of unshakable faith, ready to carry the glorious weight of the promise that is coming. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. If Abraham's story has stirred something in you, type "I trust" in the comments now. Let your declaration become a public answer for your soul and an encouragement to another listener who needs courage in the night. My child, pause with me for a moment. You have taken these first steps into deep truths of my heart, and we have only just begun to clear the fog that has clouded your mind for so long. To turn away now would be to choose to walk back into the confusion I am so lovingly trying to lead you out of. It truly grieves my spirit to see you on the verge of a breakthrough, only to consider settling for a familiar pain over the healing freedom that is just ahead. Do not stop. This is a divine appointment. There is more I must show you. Stay with me. Listen to the world around you, my child. You see the rhythm of the seasons, the stark stillness of winter, the tender new life of spring, the full flourishing of summer, and the rich harvest of autumn. I ordained the seasons for the earth, and in the very same way I have ordained seasons for your soul. Your life is not a monotonous straight line of progress. It is a cycle of seasons, and each one has its own purpose, its own lesson, and its own unique beauty. You are fighting the season you are in. You feel the cold and barrenness of a spiritual winter, and you resent it, You are striving to produce fruit to force a harvest when I have called you to a time of rest and deep rooting. This struggle is exhausting you. I am asking you to surrender to my rhythm. Stop fighting against the turning of the earth in your own life. Do not despise the winter. A tree in winter is not dead. It is gathering its strength. Below the frozen surface, its roots are growing deeper, preparing for the burst of life to come. Your spiritual winter is not a poo. Nishman, it is a time of profound unseen preparation. It is a time for stillness, for reflection, for healing, for letting your trust in me deepen in the dark. Embrace the unique lessons of the season I have you in. If it is a season of planting, be diligent in learning my word and sowing acts of faithfulness. If it is a season of watering, be patient and persevere through the daily of 10 repetitive tasks of life and prayer, trusting that growth is happening. If it is a season of summer, rejoice in the flourishing and give me the glory, enjoying the warmth of my bliss. Sing, and if it is a season of autumn, learn to harvest with gratitude and release things with grace. Each season prepares you perfectly for the one that is to follow. You cannot skip a season without missing a crucial part of your development. To demand a harvest in the middle of winter is not faith. It is a misunderstanding of how I, the great farmer of your soul, work. Trust me, I know exactly what season you are in, and I am with you in it, producing exactly what is needed for the glorious harvest that is sure to come. My child, let us speak plainly about the heaviest burden you carry, the one you might not even name to in your prayers because it feels too shameful. It is the lie that you are falling behind. I see you. I see you scrolling late at night, your face illuminated by the pale light of your phone. You see the announcements of engagements, the pictures of new babies, the posts about career promotions and new homes. With every image, a voice whispers in your soul, you are so far behind. Everyone is moving on, and you are stuck. What is wrong with you? This voice is a liar, and it is the author of the deepest anxieties that plague your heart. This concept of falling behind was never invented in heaven. It was forged on earth in the fires of human comparison and insecurity. You believe you're all running in the same race. You look to your left and your right, measuring your pace against those around you. But listen to me, the only official of this race. I have not designed a single standard track for you, my beloved. I have crafted a unique custom course. Your path has different terrain, different hurdles, and a different glorious finish line designed only for you. How then can you be behind in a race of 1? To compare your journey to another's is like the sun comparing itself to the moon. Both are my glorious creations, each with a different purpose, a different light, and a different time to shine. I have never, not for one single moment, measured your progress against your friend, your sibling, or that person online whose life seems so perfect. Their story is not your story. Their timing is not your timing. That feeling of being behind is a poison, and you have been drinking it, thinking it will somehow motivate you. It will not. It will only steal the joy and peace I have for you today. So I am commanding you now with all the love in my heart. Put down the cup. Release the need to measure up. Your only measure, the only standard that matters in all of eternity, is your faithfulness to me in this present moment. Are you trusting me today? Are you loving those I have placed in your path today? Are you listening for my voice today? That is the progress I see. That is the victory I celebrate. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are precisely, perfectly, and strategically right where you need to be in my eternal plan. Walk in that freedom. There are times, I know, when you pray and the heavens seem like brass. You cry out and the only thing you hear back is the echo of your own voice. In these seasons of silence, your greatest fear rises up. The fear that I have left you. Your heart frantically asks, what did I do wrong? Have I sinned so badly that God has finally turned his face from me? You assume my silence is a sign of my displeasure, a punishment for some unknown failure. My child, I want to reframe that thought for you entirely. What if my silence is not a punishment, but a promotion? What if it is not a sign of my disappointment, but a sign of my deep trust in you? My spirit is sealed within your heart. I have given you my word, a promise that I will never leave you nor forsake you. A covenant does not have an exception clause for the times I am quiet. My presence is your permanent reality. Sometimes I am silent, because you have grown accustomed to hearing me in a certain way. A loud shout, an emotional wave, a clear sign, and so I become quiet to train your ears to listen for me in a new way, as a still small whisper. You must quiet the noise of your own panic and the world's frantic demands to hearth the gentle frequency of my nearness. At other times, my silence is a test, not a test to see if you will fail, but a test to reveal the true foundation of your love. Do you love me for the spiritual experiences I give you, for the guidance I speak, for the blessings I provide, or do you love me simply for who I am? A faith that can worship in the silence, that can trust in my character when it cannot army voice, is the most mature and powerful faith of all. I am teaching you to walk by the compass of my unchanging word, not just by the sound of my immediate directions. This is the faith that cannot be shaken. So when the silence comes, do not panic. Feel the air fill your lungs. I am in that breath. Feel your own heartbeat. I am closer than that. I have not been anywhere. Lean into the quiet and whisper, I know you are here, and that is enough. You feel stagnant, my beloved. You look at your life and you see the same routine, the same challenges, the same four walls. A deep frustration sets in because it feels as though your life is a ship with no wind in its sails, adrift and going nowhere. You cry out to me, is anything happening at all? Have you forgotten me here? Oh, my child, if only I could pull back the curtain of your perception for a single moment, you would be breathless at the flurry of activity I am orchestrating on your behalf. While you feel the most stagnant, I am often the most active. The work you cannot see is the most vital work of all. Imagine a grand theater production. You are sitting in the audience. The curtain is down and there is only silence and darkness. You might think the play is over or has been delayed, but behind that curtain, a massive crew is at work. Scenery is being moved into place. Lights are being adjusted. Actors are taking their positions, all in furious, purposeful preparation for the next glorious act. You, my child, are looking at the closed curtain, but I am behind it, moving mountains for you. I am arranging circumstances you are not yet aware of. I am speaking to people on your behalf whom you have not yet met. I am clearing obstacles from a path that you have not yet walked. This hidden preparation is also happening inside of you. While you wait, I am conditioning your heart to be able to handle the weight and responsibility of the blessing that is coming. A victory given too soon to a character not ready for it would be a crushing weight, not a joyous gift. I am building your endurance, your humility, your wisdom. Like a caterpillar in a chrysalis, you feel confined and still. But inside that stillness, a miraculous and total transformation is taking place. You entered as one who crawls, but you will emerge as one who flies. So trust the hidden process. Trust that even when you see nothing, I am doing everything. The greatest growth always happens in the dark, just before the dawn. If this hidden work has made your heart hopeful, would you stand with us? Consider supporting this ministry with a small gift, whether super thanks, membership, or a PayPal seed. Links are in the description. Your giving helps bring this message to someone in their midnight season and invests in the next person's breakthrough. My child, you have a choice in this season of waiting. It is a choice you make every single day, every single moment. You can choose to wait in anxious frustration, allowing your prayers to become bitter lists of complaints and your heart to grow hard with disappointment. Or you can choose to wait in worshipful anticipation, turning this very season into a holy offering to me. The posture of your heart while you wait is one of the most profound sermons you will ever preach. Lifting your hands in praise when those hands are empty of the promise you long for. That is an act of faith that shakes the heavens. Anyone can sing my praises on the mountaintop of fulfillment. Anyone can give thanks when their arms are full of my blessings. But the one who chooses to sing in the prison of their waiting, like my servants Paul and Silas, the one who chooses to bless my name in the valley of their lack, like my servant Job, that is the worship that moves my heart most deeply. It is a fragrant offering that declares to all of heaven and earth that my presence is a greater gift to you than any present I could give you. I am inviting you to make this shift. When the temptation to complain rises, choose instead to list 3 things for which you are grateful. When the feeling of despair washes over you, open your mouth and sing of my faithfulness in the past. Your words of faith are a weapon. They silence the accuser and they strengthen your own soul. When you worship, you are not just sending praise up to me. You are pulling heavenly strength down into your current situation. It realigns your focus from the size of your problem to the infinite greatness of your God. It infuses your weary spirit with a supernatural peace and joy that your circumstances cannot explain. Do not simply endure the wait, my child. Worship your way through it. Let your waiting itself become your song. If worship has been your refuge, invite someone in. Tag a friend and share this episode or save this message so you can return to worship again when the doubt creeps back in. You have asked me how you can turn this season of waiting into a powerful act of worship. This moment is your answer, as you have just learned to lift your empty hands in praise. You can now plant a seed of faith that carries my voice into another's prison of impatience. Every super thanks or membership you sow becomes a testament that my presence is a greater gift than any present. A tangible act of worship that helps another soul learn to sing in their own storm. My heart rejoices over the one who gives cheerfully from a place of trust. For I have promised, he who sows bountifully will also reap bountifully. Your act of faith right now declares that you believe your own harvest is on my perfect schedule. As you give, I release over you a harvest of peace that guards your heart and a provision that silences your fears. Sow your worship through Super Thanks membership or the PayPal links below and partner with me in proclaiming my perfect timing, wherein as a cred space now, you and I have pulled back Eckertain to show you the hidden workings of my hand and the deep intentions of my heart for you. It would wound me for you to treat this intimate conversation as something casual, something to be abandoned when a simple distraction calls for your attention. I am entrusting you with my series of my kingdom and my love. Do not dishonor this holy ground by walking away. The deepest revelations, the ones that will truly set you free, are yet to come. Listen when your life feels like a series of unfair and random disasters. I want you to remember the story of my beloved. To Joseph, he gave him glorious dreams of his future, a promise of leadership and authority. And what was the immediate result? Did a straight path to the throne appear? No, he was thrown into a pit by his own brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused of a crime he did not commit, and left to rot in a prison, forgotten by the one man who could have helped him. From a human perspective, his life was a catastrophic failure. It seemed that my promise was not just delayed but dead. But I want you to see his story through my eyes. Every single step downward was from my eternal viewpoint, a necessary step forward into his destiny. The pit separated him from a family environment that would have suffocated his calling, being sold into. Slavery was my mode of transportation to get them to the exact nation they needed him in. The false accusation landed him in the prison, where he would meet the royal cupbearer. Being forgotten in that prison taught them the agonizing but essential lesson of patience. and trusting only in me, not in the favor of men. I was not wasting time while he sat in that dungeon. I was forging a prime minister. I was teaching him humility, integrity under pressure, and the administrative skills he would need to manage a global famine. His 13-year delay was my perfect intricate preparation. It positioned him in the exact right place at the exact right time, with the exact right character to save his family and the entire known world. What his brothers meant for evil, I was weaving for good all along. Your story, my child, is no different. The moments that feel like the pit, the situations that feel like a prison, the seasons where you feel utterly forgotten. These are not random misfortunes. They are my divine detours. I am the master weaver, and I am taking all the threads of your life, even the dark and painful ones, and I am weaving them into a tapestry more beautiful than you can currently imagine. Trust my providence. The plan is not derailed. It is unfolding. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. My child, in your moments of deepest frustration, you look at your unanswered prayer and you think I am simply withholding something good from you. You see the blessing you desire, the relationship, the job, the healing, and you cannot imagine a loving reason for it to be denied. Your heart cries out, "Why are you keeping this from me?" You see a closed door and interpret it as my rejection. But I want you to lean in close and hear this secret of my heart. Often what you call a delay is my shield of divine protection. My not yet is one of the most powerful and loving expressions of my role as your father. I am standing between you and a danger you cannot see. You are like a precious toddler, reaching with all your might for a beautiful, gleaming knife on the counter. In your innocence, you see only its shine, its appeal, its potential. You do not understand its sharp edge. I, your father, see the wound it would cause in your small, untrained hands. My not yet is gently, lovingly pulling your hand away from the blade. You are asking me for a promotion, but I see that the person who would be your new supervisor has a heart set on undermining you, and I am waiting for them to be moved before I elevate you. You are pleading for our relationship, but I see the deep hidden brokenness in that other person that would bring you a future of immense pain. So I am protecting your heart. You are desperate for a financial windfall, but I see the pride that would spring up in your character if it came too soon. Acrid that would poison your soul and distance you from me. Sometimes I am protecting you from a version of your dream that is simply too small. You are asking for a small plot of land when I have a vast inheritance planned for you. You are praying for a small ministry opportunity when I am preparing you to speak to nations. My delay is me expanding your vision and your capacity to receive something far greater than what you are currently asking for. Every time you face a not yet, I invite you to change your question. Instead of asking, "Why are you withholding this from me?" I want you to ask, "Father, what are you protecting me from? What greater thing are you preparing me for?" Trust that my delays are not denials, but the fierce protective love of a perfect father guarding his cherished child. In the intensity of your waiting, it is easy for your world to become very small. Your focus narrows to your own your own unfulfilled desire, your own timeline. Your prayers can become centered on my breakthrough, my promise, my future. But I am calling you to lift your eyes and see a much larger picture. Your life is not a solo performance, my child. It is a single vital instrument in my grand cosmic orchestra. Your story is not an isolated novel. It is a crucial chapter in the great book of redemption that I am writing. Your timing is not just about you. It is deeply and intricately interconnected with the lives and timing of countless others. Imagine a vast and complex set of dominoes arranged in a magnificent pattern across a great hall. You are one of those dominoes, and you are itching to be tipped over to volunteer your purpose. But I, the one who's the dominoes, can see that if you fall now, you will only tip in or two others if you wait with patience. However, I am still moving other dominoes into place around you. I am aligning people and circumstances. When the perfect moment comes and your life is set in motion, you will not just start a small chain reaction. You will trigger a glorious cascading ripple effect that will touch more lives than you can possibly imagine. Your breakthrough might be the key that unlocks a door for your entire family. Your patience in waiting for a spouse may be the very thing that gives the person I am preparing for you the time they need to heal from a past hurt. The business I have asked you to wait on might be everyone that will provide jobs for a community in 5 years. Time, this is the sacred choreography of my kingdom. I am the divine conductor, and I see every musician in the orchestra. You may feel you are ready to play your beautiful solo, but I know the rest of the section is not yet in tune. To have you play now would create noise, not the beautiful harmony you intend. Your season of waiting is a profound, selfless act of love for people you may not have even met yet. Your patience creates the space for their preparation. So when you're tempted to see your way as a solitary struggle, remember the symphony, remember the dominoes. This is bigger than you. Trust my timing, for when I give you the cue, the music we make together will be breathtaking. In my word, I gave you a profound truth through the hand of the preacher. For everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven. My child, this is not a melancholy poem about the randomness of life. It is a powerful declaration of my sovereign divine order. It is the constitution of how time and purpose work in my kingdom. You have been trying to live a life that is only one season. You desire only a time to laugh, a time to dance, a time to build up, a time to gain. You see the other seasons. The time to weep, the time to mourn, the time to tear down, the time to lose as interruptions to my plan, as signs that something has gone wrong. But they are not interruptions, they are appointments. I am with you in the season of weeping, just as much as I am with you in the season of laughing. The time for mourning is just as holy and purposeful as the time for dancing. You have been resisting your painful seasons, trying to rush through them, numb them, or deny them altogether. But listen to this truth. If you do not allow your heart to fully enter and experience the appointed time for sorrow, you will never have the full capacity to experience the appointed time for joy. A heart that hardens itself against grief cannot fully open itself to ecstatic celebration. By resisting one part of my ordained process, you are limiting the joy of the other. The sculptor must use a sharp gel to carve away chunks of stone before he can use a soft cloth to polish. Both are necessary for the final masterpiece. There is a time in your life when I must tear down a false identity so I can build up your true one in me. There is a time when I must allow you to lose something you are clinging to so that you can gain me. Peace is found not in fighting the season you are in, but in finding me within it. True faith does not demand summer in the middle of winter. True faith trusts the wisdom of the farmer, knowing that the winter fallow is essential for the spring planting. I invite you to surrender to my holy rhythm. Accept the season you are in. Find its hidden purpose, and you will find a profound peace that transcends understanding. Your world scream. Sat you from the moment you wake. It tells you that your value is in your busyness, your worth is in your productivity, your importance is in your noise. To best still feels lazy, it feels irresponsible, and so you fill every spare moment with distraction. You wake up and reach for your phone, you drive and listen to a podcast. You work with music blaring, you come home and turn on the television. You do this, my beloved, because you are afraid of the silence. You are terrified of what you might hear or not hear if you were ever truly still. But I am calling you out of the no. Is my command to you today is the same one I have given to my people for millennia. Be still and know that I am God. This is not agentless suggestion. It is a command for your very survival and growth. It is not an invitation to be passive. It is a call to engage in a disciplined, active spiritual act. Stillness is the only environment in which certain types of growth can occur. Your soul is like a glass of water filled with the mud and sediment of your day's anxieties, fears, and distractions. As long as you keep shaking it with more noise and activity, it will remain cloudy and opaque. You cannot see clearly. But when you obey me and hold it still, the sediment begins to settle. The water clears, and you can once again see, hear me, and know me. Stillness is my operating table. It's where you finally stop running and allow me to perform the deep soul surgery you need. It forces you to confront the fears you have been avoiding, the hurts you've been medicating with busyness, the insecurities you've been covering with achievements. You cannot be all what you will not face, and you will not face it until you are still. It is in the quiet that you learn to distinguish my whisper from the thousand other voices show. Yielding for your attention, this is the most important skill you will ever develop. Mighty redwood trees grows lowly in the quiet of the forest over centuries. I am not building you to be a weed that shoots up overnight, only to wither under the first sign of pressure. I am making you a oak of righteousness. This requires slow, deep, quiet growth. Obey my command. Be still, my beloved. Everything I have shared with you is the foundation. But a foundation, no matter how strong, is useless without the house that is built up on it. The truths I am about to share with you are the very framework of the unshakable peace and purpose you have been crying out for. To stop for would be to leave the foundation exposed and the structure of your new life unbuilt. Do not disappoint the master plan I have for your future. Do not grieve my heart by settling for an unfinished work, when I long to complete what I have started in you. Let us continue building together. My child, I want you to do something for me right now. Pause and feel your own heartbeat. Eye tracing? Is it a shallow and quick beating with a frantic rhythm of anxiety, pressure, and fear? That is the rhythm of the world. It is a rhythm of striving, of rushing, of panic. Now I want you to imagine my heartbeat. It is the rhythm of the turning of galaxies, the steady crashing of ocean waves upon the shore. It is strong, patient, steady, and eternal. It is the rhythm of perfect peace and unwavering faithfulness. The frantic beat of your fear is out of sync with me, and our relationship is like a dance where we're stepping on each other's toes because we're not moving to the same beat. Here is the secret. The goal is not for me to speed up and join you in your panic. I will not love you too much for that. The goal is for you to slow down, to breathe, and to intentionally align your heart with my heavenly rhythm. I do not join you in your anxiety. I invite you to join me in my peace. This alignment is a conscious act of surrender. It is a choice you make to stop listening to the panic beat of your own emotions and to start listening for my steady tempo. How do you do this? You do it through prayer. Not the frantic prayer of begging, but the deep prayer of breathing. Exhaling your fears and inhaling my presence. You do it by steeping your mind in my word, which always reminds you of my steady, faithful character. You do it by surrendering your agenda, your timeline, your need to control. When you begin to align your heart with mine, something miraculous happens. I place a supernatural guard around your heart and mind. My peace, which makes no earthly sense, stands watch like a heavenly sentinel at the gate of your soul, and anxiety is denied entry. Faithfulness becomes the drumbeat you march to. My patience becomes the tempo you live by. Your frantic, shallow breaths become deep, peaceful ones. Let's practice now. Close your eyes, take a slow breath in, now a long breath out. Imagine your racing heart beginning to slow to match the steady, powerful, loving rhythm of your Father. That is my rhythm. Live there. My beloved, I want to speak directly to the H that settles in your soul during the long wait. I am not distant from it. I am intimately acquainted with your pain. My own word acknowledges this human reality. Hope deferred makes the heart sick. I see that sickness of heart in you at times. It is not a dramatic loud affliction. It is a quiet creeping weariness. It is the dull ache of repeated disappointment. It is the slow draining of color from your world that makes you want to stop praying for the very thing you long for because the silence feels too heavy to bear. You begin to believe it is better not to hope at all than to face another day of that hope feeling unanswered. Is you and my heart aches with yours. But that is not the end of the truth. The same verse in my word promises a glorious conclusion. But a longing fulfilled is a tree of life. I want you to fix your spiritual gaze on the tree. Even now, when your landscape feels barren, I am planting and watering that tree for you. And in the time between the sickness of heart and the fulfillment of the longing, I have not left you helpless. I am your strength. I am the sustainer of your hope. You cannot protect your own heart from this sickness, but I can. I want to give you a strategy to strengthen your spirit. First, do not let your spirit starve. You would never go weeks without food for your body. Why do you allow your spirit to go days without being fed? You must feed it daily with my promises. Open my word, find the promises that speak to your situation, and read them aloud. Let your own ear share the truth that counteracts the lies of despair. Let my word be the living water for your parched hope. Second, build a memorial of my faithfulness in your mind. Take time to deliberately recall the other times in your life you thought you would not make it. Remember the financial provision that came at the last moment. Remember the healing that defied the doctor's reports. Remember the relationship that was restored. My faithfulness in your past is the fuel for your faith in the future. I am the same God. If I did it then, I will do it again. I am the God of hope, and I will not allow your spirit to fail. I am holding your flickering flame in my hands, shielding it from the wind, and I will pour my own oil upon it until it burns brightly once more. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. My child, you stand in a hallway of your life. Before you is a door. You have knocked, you have pushed, and it will not open. The confusion this creates in your spirit is immense. You ask yourself, should I keep knocking? Am I lacking faith, or is this God telling me to walk away? You exhaust yourself with uncertainty, sometimes ramming your shoulder against a door I have firmly locked, and at other times walking away in despair from a door I have simply asked you to wait at. It is vital that you seek my wisdom to discern the difference between a closed door, which is my merciful redirection, and a not yet, which is my divine invitation to wait with expectation. Let me give you some insight. When it truly closes a door, it is an act of profound love guiding you away from a path that was not meant for you. And while there may be the initial pain of disappointment, if you are still and listen, that closed door is almost always followed by a supernatural sense of peace and closure. It feels final. Your spirit deep down knows it is time to move on. The striving ceases. The obsessive desire for that specific path begins to wane. And I will begin to plant a new desire in your heart for a different direction, but a not yet. Feels very different. The door may be shut for this season, but I will place a persistent, quiet, and unshakable hope in your heart for what lies on the other side. The holy desire for it will not leave you. It will not be anxious, frantic striving, but a patient, steady knowing that I will still act. When I ask you to wait at a door, I will give you the grace to wait there. Do not try to force open a door I have bolted shut. You will only find frustration and bruising. And just as importantly, do not abandon your posted door I have asked you to wait at, for you may walk away. Just moments before I am ready to swing it wide open in your confusion, simply come to me. Ask me, Father, is this your protection or your invitation to persevere? Be still, and I will make the answer clear in your spirit. Let us settle this in your heart once and for all. I want you to understand the very nature of my promises to you. They are not vague hopes. They are not suggestions. They are not conditional possibilities based on your performance. They are not ifs or maybes. My promises are divine, unbreakable covenants. My word declares that in my Son Jesus, all of my promises find their resounding yes. This means the fulfillment of every promise I have made to you is not in question. It is a settled reality in the courts of heaven. The only variable is the timing of its manifestation here on earth, and that timing is held perfectly and lovingly in my hands. I want to empower you with this truth so you can stand against the doubt that comes from your circumstances. Your circumstances shout loudly at you every day. Your bank account shouts scarcity. The conflict in your family shouts impossible. The doctor's report shouts fear. But you must know this: your circumstances, no matter how loud they are, do not have the power to veto to my word. Your past failures don't have the authority to nullify my promises. The opinions of others cannot cancel a divine decree. My promises are higher and more real than your reality. Now here is a key you must grasp. You must learn to hold on to the promise itself, not to the process you envision for its fulfillment. You may have had every specific idea of how I would bring it to pass, but my ways are higher than your ways. Let go of your attachment to the how and anchor your soul to the who, me, the one who promised. My entire divine character, my honor, my integrity is staked on the fulfillment of my word. It is impossible for me to lie. I do not change my mind. The promise is yes in Jesus. And the amen, the so be it, will come. It will break for that the perfect moment. And all you will be able to do is stand in awe of my faithfulness. My child, from every young age, the world handed you a timeline, a generic blueprint for a successful life. You may not have even realized you accepted it. It is the silent pressure that says you should have your education finished by this age, your career established by that age, be married by 30, have children before the biological clock gets too loud. You have been measuring your life against this man-made ruler, and it has been a source of deep anxiety and quiet shame. You have been clutching this blueprint so tightly in your soul, believing it was the only path to happiness. Today, in the authority of your Creator who loves you, I am telling you this blueprint is alien. It is a cage. It was never from me. It is a one-size-fits-all prison that breeds comparison, disappointment, and a constant feeling of being behind. My plan for you is a custom masterpiece, not a generic print. Today, I am giving you a personal invitation to step out of that cage forever. I am asking you to do something that will feel both terrifying and exhilarating in your heart right now. I want you to open your hands, mentally see yourself uncurling your fingers from around that crumpled, tear-stained, man-made blueprint. Let it fall to the floor. Take a deep breath of freedom. And then, with those open and empty hands, turn to me and say, Father, I receive your divine custom-made plan for my life. I trust your timeline. My child, I promise you, in the moment you truly release your illusion of control, a weight you have been carrying for years will lift off your shoulders. A peace you have not known will flood your soul. The frantic pressure will cease. You will find that my plan is not our restrictive blueprint, but a wide-open map for an adventure with me, with twists and turns and beautiful surprises you never could have imagined. In releasing control, you will find a freedom you never knew was possible. You have just prayed, Lord, I release my man-made timeline to you. This moment is your opportunity to seal that surrender with an act of faith. When you give, you are doing more than supporting this message. You are sending a key to unlock the cage of comparison for another soul who feels trapped and left behind by the world's frantic schedule. Every gift sown is a prophetic declaration that you are now living by my heavenly rhythm, not a worldly clock. This moment is not random. It is your opportunity to prove my word. For I have challenged you. Test this now and see if I will not throw open the windows of heaven for you. As you release this seed in faith, I release you from the anxiety of the future, and I decree my favor to overtake your plans. Now surrender your gift. Give through Super Thanks membership or with a PayPal link in the description, and watch me redeem your time. Listen closely to my voice. The enemy of your soul trembles when you absorb these truths, because they are the very keys that unlock your chains. He's fighting to distract you right now, to pull your attention away, to whisper that you have heard enough. To surrender to that distraction would grieve me deeply, for it is to abandon your liberation at the very moment the final lock is about to turn. Do not give him the satisfaction of your surrender. Defy him by staying close to my voice. We're about to break the final chains that have held you captive. You have told your heart a story, and it is a story of postponed joy. It sounds like this: I will finally be happy when I get that job. I will be able to relax and have peace when I am finally out of debt. My real life will begin once I am healed. You have made your joy, your peace, and your very life contingent upon a future event, a destination you have not yet reached. And because of this, you live in a constant, frustrating state of not yet. Always looking ahead, never able to fully live in the present. You are on a long and beautiful car trip with me, but you are refusing to look out the window at the stunning scenery. Instead, your only question over and over is, are we there yet? My beloved, listen to me. I have nothing your joy in a far-off destination. That is not my way. I have placed it all along the path for you, like hidden treasures waiting to be discovered right here and today. I want you to start finding it. Find joy in my presence with you in this very moment as you hear my voice. Find joy in the simple, profound gift of your breath. Find joy in the small kindnesses you can give and receive today. Find it in the beauty of the creation that sings of my name. I am calling you to celebrate the small steps of progress. Did you choose faith over fear for 5 minutes today? Celebrate that. Did you show grace to a difficult person? That is a cause for a festival in your heart. If your happiness depends on the final destination, your journey will be one of misery. But if you learn to find joy in the journey itself, your whole life becomes an adventure of delight. The fulfillment of the promise will be wonderful, yes, but the person you are becoming as you walk with me day by day, as you learn to trust me, as you find joy in my company. That, my child, is the true destination. Do not miss it by being focused only on a single stop along the way. My child, you often look at the circumstances of your life as if I were reading a confusing novel where the author has lost the plot. You are in a chapter full of tension, conflict, and unresolved questions. You see characters who have brought you pain, plot twists that seem cruel and pointless, and a storyline that feels like it has wandered far from the happy ending you had hoped for. But I, the author and the perfecter of your faith, the one who is writing your very story, lean in to tell you a secret. And never lose the plot. I don't write messy drafts and then try to edit them later. The first version I penned in eternity is the final perfect one. Every chapter of your life is intentional. No page is wasted. That chapter of deep sorrow you wish you could tear out, that was the chapter where I cultivated in you a compassion you could have gained in no other way. That long, boring chapter of waiting where nothing seemed to happen, that wastes the crucial chapter of character development, setting the stage for the hero you are becoming. Every person who has walked into your story, even the villains who wounded you, has played a necessary part in moving the narrative toward its glorious conclusion. You cannot see it now because you're still in the middle of the book. You do not know how I will use the lessons from this chapter in the chapters to come. But I do. I am the author. The climax of your story, the fulfillment of my promises. The revealing of your purpose will not come a moment too early or a single second too late. I know the perfect page-turning moment for the great reveal. Trust my authorship, my beloved. Stop trying to edit the pages or rush to the end. Live fully in the chapter you are in, and know that the ending I have written for you will be more beautiful, more redemptive, and more glorious than you could ever imagine. It will make every previous chapter make perfect, breathtaking sense. I know that this season of waiting feels sheavy. It feels like you're carrying a great weight on your soul from the moment you wake until you fall into a restful sleep. You have prayed for me to lift this burden from you, to simply take it away. And at times I do, but at other times my answer is not to remove the weight, but to strengthen you to carry it. I want to change your perspective on this heaviness you feel. I want you to see it not as a crushing burden, but as a holy workout in my divine gymnasium. The act of waiting, of holding on to my promise when every fiber of your being and every circumstance around you screams that it is impossible, is a form of spiritual weightlifting. It feels difficult because it is difficult. I just mean to be when you lift weights in a gym, the resistance causes microscopic tears in your muscles, and it is in their pairing of those tears that the muscle grows back stronger than before. In the same way, this weight of waiting is creating a holy resistance against your spirit, and as you push against it day after day, choosing to trust me one more time, you are building spiritual muscle. You are developing the capacity to carry the great weight of your destiny. My child, the blessing you are asking me for has a weight of its own. A great promotion comes with great responsibility. Our restored marriage comes with the weight of stewarding it, while a powerful ministry comes with the weight of spiritual warfare. To give you the blessing before your spirit is strong enough to carry it would be to crush you. It would be an act of harm, not love. The strength you are gaining now in the secret place of your waiting is the very strength you will need to stand and succeed in the next season. So do not resent the weight. Do not pray only for its removal. Pray also, Father, make me strong. See this heaviness as my loving personal training program, designed to make you into a champion who can not only receive the prize, but carry it with grace and strength for all your days. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. There is an area of your life, my child, that feels barren. It is the place of your deepest ache. It is the dream that has died on the vine, the prayer that has been unanswered for so long, that the ground of your heart has become hard and dry. It is the part of your life where you feel unfruitful, empty, and perhaps even ashamed. When you look at this barrenness, you see failure, you see a sign of my displeasure. But I want to tell you that in my kingdom, the places of greatest barrenness are often the very stage I am setting for my most glorious and miraculous births. I want you to consider my beloved daughters in the scriptures. Think of Sarah, who carried the ache of an empty womb for 90 years, who laughed in cynical disbelief when she heard my promise of a son. Think of Hannah, whose heart was so broken by her barrenness that she wept with bitter tears of the temple, her pain mistaken for drunkenness. Think of Elizabeth, who lived with the cultural shame of being childless well into her old age. In each of these lives, I allowed a long, painful season of emptiness. Why? Because their barrenness made my power undeniably clear when the promise was finally fulfilled. When Sarah held Isaac, when Hannah dedicated Samuel, when Elizabeth gave birth to John the Baptist, none could claim it was a result of human effort. It was so clearly and miraculously my hand that it left no room for human pride, and all glory went to me, my child. I am doing the same work in the barren areas of your life today. The place where you feel the most empty, the dream that seems the most impossible. That is the very ground I am preparing. I am allowing it to become so undeniably barren that when I bring forth new life from it, you and everyone watching will know that it was me and me alone. Your barrenness will give birth to a testimony that will shout of my power, my faithfulness, and my glory. Do not curse the empty ground. Consecrate it to me, and watch what I will grow there. You live your life believing in a world of accidents and chance. You use words like coincidence, luck, and random. Today, I want to lovingly remove those words from your spiritual vocabulary. In my kingdom, under my sovereign watch, there is no such thing as a coincidence. There are no random events. There is only my intricate and purposeful providence at work. The world seems chaotic and out of control to you, but to me it is a perfectly orchestrated symphony. That person you randomly sat next to on the bus who said the exact thing you needed to hear. I seated them there. That unexpected traffic jam that made you late for a meeting, only to find out later it protected you from a dangerous situation. I was your shield. A chance phone call from an old friend checking in on the very day you felt most alone. I prompted their heart, my child, you are looking at the underside of a magnificent tapestry that I am weaving. From your perspective, it looks like a chaotic jumble of tangled knots and unrelated threads of color. It makes no sense. But I, the master weaver, see the top side. I see the glorious, intricate pattern that is emerging. I know how every single thread, even the dark and painful ones, is being used to create a work of stunning beauty. I am inviting you today to start living with an awareness of my hidden hand. Pay attention to the small details of your day. Stop dismissing things as random. Ask me, Father, what are you doing here? Show me your hand. When you begin to look for my fingerprints, you will start to see them everywhere. This understanding will revolutionize your daily life. It will transform your existence from a series of chaotic random events into a thrilling moment-by-moment adventure of walking with a God who is intimately and purposefully involved in every single detail of your life. My child, we have journeyed so far together through the landscape of your life. You have seen the individual threads and the difficult patterns. And now I am about to show you how they all weave together into a tapestry of undeniable glory. To leave now would be like walking out of a magnificent story just before the hero's triumphant return. It would leave the narrative incomplete and the victory unclaimed in your own heart. It disappoints your father when his children choose to live in the tension of the middle chapters, too afraid or too distracted to see how gloriously you finish the story. Do not be one of them. The most beautiful part of your story is just ahead. Let me show you. Imagine, my beloved, a grand and majestic stage one that stretches across all of history and fills all of eternity. Up on this stage, as a and breathtaking dance is being performed, a choreography I designed before time began. Every person who has ever lived is a part of this dance, from the people you pass on the street, and you, my precious child. You have a unique, beautiful, and utterly irreplaceable part to play in this divine performance. You are not an extra in the background. You have a solo that only you can perform. Now I want you to see your season of you. Eating through this lens, this time that feels so passive and unproductive to you, is in fact a crucial part of the choreography. You are a dancer holding your position perfectly on stage. You are poised, and you're listening for your specific musical cue. To rush onto the stage before your appointed time to move out of impatience would be to disrupt the entire performance. It would cause other dancers to stumble. It would mar the beauty and the power of the story being told. Your waiting is an act of discipline, beautiful obedience. I, the Divi, ni choreographer, am standing in the wings of the stage. My view is perfect. Is he every dancer? Is he the lighting? I know the music by heart, and I know the absolute perfect, dramatic, and breathtaking moment for you to step into the spotlight and perform the stunning solo I have been preparing you for your entire life. Do not grow anxious in your waiting. Do not look at the other dancers and wish you had their part. Your part is yours alone, and it is vital to the entire production. Trust my direction. Hold your position with grace and faith. I promise you, when the performance is complete and the final curtain falls, the story we have told together will be a masterpiece that will leave all of heaven erupting in thunderous applause. You believe that the season of waiting is a private matter, a silent struggle fought within the lonely confines of your own heart and mind. You feel that your perseverance or your lack of it goes unnoticed. But I want to pull back the curtain for you and show you that your waiting is happening on every public stage. People are watching you, my child. Your family is watching. Your children are watching how you handle this disappointment. Your friends, some who believe in me and some who do not, are watching. Your co-workers who know a piece of your struggle are watching. They see the trial you are in, and they are observing your response. And how you choose to wait is one of the most powerful and authentic sermons you will ever preach. In a world that is drowning in anxiety, a world that demands instant gratification for every desire, your peaceful and patient trust in me is a radical, supernatural, and deeply compelling witness. It makes no sense to them. They think, if their God is so good, why hasn't he answered them yet? They should be angry, bitter, and anxious. But when they see you with a quiet strength, agentless hope, and a peace that defies your circumstances, it plants a seed of holy confusion in their souls. It makes them wonder about the God you serve. Your patience testifies to a watching world that your hope is not anchored in your circumstances, but in my unchanging character. It declares that I am faithful even when you cannot see the evidence. It shouts to both heaven and hell that I, your God, am worthy of the wait. Your quiet trust becomes a deafening roar in the spiritual realm, silencing the accusations of the enemy who says I'm not good and cannot be trusted. Do not ever believe your waiting is insignificant. Your life in this very season is a living lighthouse, a beacon of hope in the storm, pointing a wary and watching world toward the safety of my harbor. You are preaching the gospel not with words, but with your life. I know that when you look back, you see years that feel wasted. You see the years the locusts have eaten, the years of wandering in the desert of confusion, the years of sorrow over a promise unfulfilled, the years you spent making mistakes and going down the wrong path. You grieve this time you see it. As a permanent loss, a deficit in your life's account that can never be recovered. This is a source of deep regret and pain for you. But I, the Lord of time, the one who is the great Redeemer, make you this divine promise today. I will restore to you the years that the locusts have eaten. This is not just a pretty piece of poetry from my word. It is a crid and powerful decree over your life. But you must understand what my restoration looks like. It is not a simple turning back of the clock. I am not erasing the past. I am redeeming it. Every tear you cried in those lost years was not wasted. I have collected them all, and they have watered the ground of your heart, creating a fertile soil for compassion and empathy that you could have gained another way. Every mistake you made taught you a lesson in humility and grace that I will now use for my glory. The very strength you developed just to survive those difficult years is now a formidable weapon in your spiritual arsenal. My restoration is not just air fund. It is an upgrade. And know this, I am not bound by the linear progression of time that governs your world. I can accomplish in one of my appointed days what it would take you a decade to achieve in your own strength. I will compress time for you. The wisdom, the depth of character, and the spiritual authority you gained in the crucible of your past will now become the very platform upon which I will build your most powerful and effective purpose. The enemy meant those years for your destruction, to convince you that you have wasted your life, but I am turning his evil plan on its head. I am decreeing that your deepest pain will become the source of your greatest power. Your mess will become your message. The time was not lost. It was being invested. In the middle of this uncertainty, in the heart of the waiting, I offer you a gift. It is a gift the world cannot give you, and once you have it, it is a gift the world's. Anakai? It is my peace. But this is not the world's version of peace, which is merely the absence of conflict or trouble. No, my peace is far more powerful. It is a peace that surpasses all human understanding, all logic, all desperate attempts to figure out my timeline. It is a supernatural calm that can stand strong and serene right in the middle of your life's fiercest storm. It is the peace my son had when he slept in the boat while the waves crashed around him. That is the peace I am offering to you today. This peace is not the result of you finally getting your answers. It is not something you will feel only after the promise is fulfilled. It is a gift for the here and now. I want to place this peace like a heavenly garrison, a troop of angelic guards around your heart and your mind. It will protect you from the relentless assault of the what-ifs and the worries that seek to steal your sanity. Now listen closely, for this is the key to receiving it. You do not access this peace by finally figuring out my plan. You will exhaust yourself trying to do that. You access it through surrender. It is a divine exchange. Every time you feel the waves of anxiety rising, you have a choice. You can be consumed by them, or you can perform simple, powerful act of faith. You can consciously cast your anxieties about your timeline, your future, and your unanswered questions upon me. And in that very moment of release, I will exchange your burden of anxiety for my gift of peace. Let this supernatural peace be the anchor for your soul in the turbulent seas of waiting. It is not something you have to earn or strive for. It is a gift I freely give to you, my child, because I love you. Open your heart and receive it now. My beloved child, after all we have discussed, I know there may still be questions that linger in your heart. There may be parts of your story, moments of deep pain that you still cannot reconcile with my goodness. And so I want you to look ahead with me to a day that is surely and certain. Ainly coming, it is the day you will stand with me in eternity, outside the confines of time in the full light of my glory. On that day I will take the great tapestry of your life, the one you have only ever seen from the confusing, messy underside, and I will turn it around so you can finally see it from my perspective. And on that day, my child, you will see. You will finally see it all with perfect clarity. Every dark thread of sorrow will be revealed as a necessary shadow that made the gold thread of my redemption shine even more brightly. Every tangled knot of confusion will be seen as a point of divine intersection where I was working in ways you could not perceive. Every long, painful delay will be revealed as a perfect and loving act of my infinite wisdom. You will see the unseen dangers I steered you clear of. You will see the beautiful character I was forging in you through the fire. You will see the countless other lives that were being impacted and prepared during your season of waiting. On that day, every tear of confusion you have ever cried will be instantly and eternally replaced by shouts of understanding and overwhelming praise. Every why that has ever haunted the corridors of your heart will be answered with a thunderous revelation of my perfect love. And your soul will overflow with a gratitude so profound, so complete that it will become a song of worship you will sing for all of eternity. But until that day comes, my precious child, I call you to do one thing. Walk by faith and not by sight. Hold on to the truths I have spoken to your heart today. Trust my heart when you cannot trace my hand, for I give you my unbreakable promise. My plan was, is, and always will be right on time, my child. Your heart is now full with the hope of my perfect and glorious plan. In this moment of gratitude, you are asking, how can I respond to such a faithful love? This is how. Your act of giving becomes your part in another's beautiful final chapter. Your support carries this message of ultimate hope to a soul who is ready to give up, helping them hold on until they too can see the glorious tapestry I am weaving for them. Each gift sends a river of my living water into a life that is barren with despair. I have told you, store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, and this is how you participate in that eternal economy. This is your chance to invest in a soul's eternity, an act that will echo with glory on that final day. As you sow into the heavens, I will ensure that my peace, the foretaste of that final unveiling, will guard you and your household on earth. Now partner with me, give through Super Thanks membership or find the PayPal link below and let us write beautiful endings together. Before you go, make this moment count. Type "Father, I trust your timing" in the comments. Hit subscribe if you haven't already, and share this message with one person who needs it. Let your obedience be the bridge that brings someone else home. And now, my beloved Azor conversation draws to a close. For this moment, I have one final invitation for you. Before you step back into the noise and demands of your day, I want you to settle these truths deep within your spirit. This is not for me, for I already know your heart. This is for you, an anchor for your soul and a testament for others. In the space provided below this message, I want you to make a declaration. Let it be a powerful and public statement of your trust, a stake in the ground for your faith. Let your fingers type the words your heart now knows to be true. I want you to write, "Father, I trust your timing. My story is in your hands." As you do this, you are doing more than just leaving a comment. You are preaching a sermon with your life, you are strengthening your own resolve, and you're becoming a beacon of hope for another soul who will read your words and feel less alone in their own season of waiting. Your declaration of faith can be the very lifeline another one of my children needs to grab hold of today. Do this now, my child. Make your declaration, and as you send it forth, feel my deep and abiding peace settle upon you. Know that you have been heard, you are seen, and you are loved beyond measure. I am with you always. Amen. If this message ministered to you, take one final step, press subscribe, consider joining the membership or giving a small gift, and then share this episode, because your single action right now will help reach another soul who is standing in the dark. Do it now. Give, join, share, and be part of turning waiting into worship for someone tonight. Amen.